Okay, before we get started, a quick couple notes. I'm starting a storyboard, I guess, for the background. Perhaps I might do some. I do need to do another log where I start doing art. I should have. This is going to push my editing ability, I guess, is the way to put it. I should have the ability to cut things together. Eventually, I'd like to be able to produce it myself, or have a trusted team of people. Like if I'm working, I'll pay for people to do this. Maybe. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. For the background for this audio, I don't need my face in the audio per se. That is, yeah, it's not 100% necessary, and that will be, uh, yeah, that's a important note. Plan is not start quick summary, then explain. Use the mic. Yes, I'm supposed to use the mic this time. Next time, the mic, Thomas. Record the spiel. Record with mic. One's happy with the script. I'm gonna just record with mic every time, because then I can start practicing. Shut that out. All right, for a title, why you should believe in God, why I believe in God, the evolution of God. A couple of points here. Yes, tribes, the different tribes competing for the spotlight and their stories leading them to more success. Those stories out competing the other stories. The evolution of those stories between different groups and the different evolved versions of those stories out competing, and vast amount of information sharing, which might explain a lot of the deep similarities from ancient wisdom across the globe among all peoples. The stars and the star signs, the importance of stars for navigation. There we go. Yeah, that's what I have written down as notes. Let's get into it. So, the evolution of God. The reason I believe in God. Maybe I should. Yeah, I'm gonna try alternating, starting with the different titles. And maybe that's. I don't think that's good for the final version, but as a note, I believe in God because I look at the ancient wisdom of the world. I read The Origin of Species a few times. Yeah, anecdotal. Is that important? That's a tough one for me. Yeah, I think that's more of a personal note. Maybe I'll leave that out. The pressures of natural selection have been applied are on everything. Not it doesn't just apply to humans and animals. It applies to literature. The most successful books, the stories that lead or are involved with the most successful people, do spread more. The most successful plays, stories, wisdom, and it does. It goes all the way down to religious stories and ancient wisdom. Ancient wisdom evolved as people competed and different tribes fought and they competed for resources, they competed for power, they competed for success. The strategies that led to the maximum individual and group success outcompeted the other strategies. This, and of course, more complex environments had more complex sets of strategies. And the ancient different cults, thousands of years, there was polytheistic societies in Egypt and Persia and ancient civilizations. They were all outcompeted. You see monotheistic faiths all out competing these, and that's probably due to the unity of the people together with the same faith. There's no diversion or division within the communities. There's a whole load of things there that actually are seriously important. The and this wisdom that led that's why and this wisdom that leads to success at individual and group success are basic fundamental rules of reality essentially, and you don't have to interpret it literally to see that. The golden rule is essentially game theory broken down. It's two in our modern mainstream most successful religion, and Western civilization is collapsing as they've fallen away from it, which is interesting after how much they've built. If you look at the serious amount done by Western culture while they were under the faith and people had faith, it's not comparable to anything else. modern, we have so many people, and many of them still do have that, and the cultural trends and instincts built in that faith that led to success within that faith are still in the people who are inherited that. So game theory is the golden rule. It's the math. We discovered it 2,000 years. Mathematically, we explored it and rounded it out. But it exists in a biblical text of amazing wisdom, like this fundamental wisdom that makes an individual group more competitive. The Pareto distribution. I may even, now this one might not go into the video. This, I guess, would be more of a log note. Look into the math. I always say there's a gold mine in the Bible for mathematic principles. Like we could truly explore these principles and theory that have been expressed themselves even in our ancient wisdom, in our mathematic fundamental understanding of the world. Like the one I want to do is he who humbles himself will be exalted, and he who exalts himself will be humbled. That's one I want to explore personally, mathematically. It's a gold mine. I don't have to go out there and reject all of this for secularism. And the amount of time secularist society is rediscovering the same thing that already exists in a different way. It's like you can rediscover it from the original. That's another source where we can start exploring it with a rationalist perspective. This idea of mutual exclusivity between rationalism and religiosity is, I'm out of time, but it's important.